In the ancient Indian text Ardhashastra, Kautilya has once said, "A wise king always keeps an eye on his enemy's friend." Today, China, Pakistan, and Bangladesh seem to be forming one such a close group, a trilateral nexus that's reshaping power politics in our region. From military ties to the economic cooperation, this particular alliance is growing stronger and it has a serious implication for India. Hello everyone, welcome to V2B Academy. In this video, let's understand the China-led trilateral nexus and how it's going to impact India. So let's start the discussion. So what is the context of the news? Why I have picked this particular topic? So if you go back to June 2025, that is last month, China has hosted a trilateral meeting with Pakistan and Bangladesh in Kunming. So definitely this shows that this throw a signal on India that there is a strong realignment. Okay, there is a new strategic alignment in the South Asia that is a trilateral nexus between China and Pakistan along with the Bangladesh. So definitely this is a new strategy that has brought by China. So there is a regime change in Bangladesh, we know. So before the regime change, when Sheikh Hasina was in the power, definitely Sheikh Hasina was very much close to India and it was very much in favor of India. But in the recent times, what we have seen is, we have seen a regime shift in the Bangladesh because of some political internal crisis. So when Muhammad Yunus has become a administrator or a ruler of that particular country, so there is a regime change and there is a shift in alignment within India. Okay, the India and Bangladesh relation has become strained. Okay, it has become strained. So China is basically utilizing this opportunity in order to become close with Bangladesh. So this is what I mean as a trilateral nexus. So this is a trilateral nexus among the three countries, Pakistan, China, which is an old thing only, but Bangladesh has joined this particular group. Okay, so in 2025 June, China has hosted a meeting, a trilateral meeting. So meeting was among the Pakistan, Bangladesh and also the China. So this has signaled a formation of a new strategic alignment in the South Asia. So definitely this is a Chinese new strategy to exclude India, which is also a part of a regional bloc, which is a country, which is developed country and it is a it's a developing country, same like a China, same like a Bangladesh, but in this particular regional bloc, India was actually excluded. So definitely this deepens the Beijing strategic footprint in the Indian subcontinent. Definitely it will have a lot of impact on India. So if you go back to the history, if you go back to the historical legacy, in 1962, we have seen Sino-Indian War. Right, we have seen in 1962 there was a war that happened between India and China, and even in 1970s we have seen the war between India and Pakistan. Right, so in order to liberate Bangladesh, we have fought with Pakistan in the 1970s war with Pakistan. Okay, but so what did China do after the 1962 war is, in 1963, immediately after this particular war, in 1963, China and Pakistan have come up with an agreement which is called as Sino-Pakistan Boundary Agreement. In this particular agreement, what did Pakistan do is, it has given a valley to the China. Okay, so in order to control, China has taken a valley from the Pakistan. So how it is linked to this particular topic then? So this valley is a Sakshan Valley. So this particular valley is part of the Pakistan occupied Kashmir, which will pose the threat to the sovereignty of India. Definitely it's a part of India. Okay, this is a part of Pakistan occupied Kashmir, which is given to China. So after having a control on Sakshan Valley through this particular agreement, China started investing in this particular area. Okay, it has come up with the infrastructure projects and many more. Okay, it is trying to increase its foothold in that particular area. And also, if you know, the Belt and Road Initiative is passing through something called as CPEC corridor. Okay, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Again, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor is passing through something called as Pak-occupied Kashmir. Okay, so this Sakshan Valley and CPEC and all of this moves that are coming up from the China and Pakistan side is posing some internal security threats to India and also sovereignty issues to India. And this particular nexus post 1960s, that is in 1970s, 1980s and till 1990s also, we have seen the increase in the intensity of the nexus between the nexus between Pakistan and China against India. Okay. So during this particular time, China has enabled the Pakistan's nuclear weapon program, ballistic missile program. It has exported certain kind of hardware weaponry and other kind of warfares and weaponry items to the Pakistan. So what we have thought is there will be a risk of two front war. What is this two front war? Okay, this two front war is the parallel war that may takes place. Okay, that may takes place from the China side and also Pakistan side together. Okay, two might attack India together. So what did India do is India started developing a doctrine in order to counter both of them together. Okay, we are also developing a strategy to counter both of them together. So in order to counter two front war or 2.5 front war, India has come up with lot of steps. But reality is, if you look at the Operation Sindoor that has taken place recently, a new reality was out. Okay, so China's tactic is not a two front war or not a 2.5 front war, but China's tactic is something different. So China's tactic is a one front war which is reinforced by it. Okay, so we have seen a one front war which is reinforced by the China itself. Like China will support Pakistan from the back end. It will not directly involve into the war, but it will support Pakistan through different means. So this is a new strategy that we have seen in the real as a new reality in the Operation Sindoor. After the Operation Sindoor, lot of experts are saying that India need to revisit the doctrine which was framed against the two front war. Okay, we have to come up with a new doctrine to tackle this particular issue of one front war which is reinforced by China. So if you look at the Operation Sindoor also, Pakistan has deployed lot of important defense mechanisms or defense equipment from the China. For example, Pakistan has something called as HQ-9, which is a Chinese air defense equipment. And also Pakistan has used fighter jets like J-10, JF-17, PL-15. Okay, so a few of our Indian fighter jets also have lost in this particular fighter jet operations. Okay, so most of these particular things are deployed from the China itself. So China was also supporting an ISR. What is ISR? ISR is nothing but intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance. Okay, in ISR also, like intelligence, and in order to do the surveillance also, so China was actively supporting the Pakistan. So Chinese satellites were helping Pakistan, Chinese drones were helping Pakistan. Okay, they were used by Pakistan in order to counter India during Operation Sindoor attack. Okay, and also China has involved indirectly through something called as electronic warfare. It has involved through the cyber warfare. Okay, information warfare. So China started spreading a fake news against India. Okay, so China started influencing the Western social media and the think tanks by spreading the disinformation against India and by strengthening the tactics of Pakistan, by strengthening the information or by strengthening the ideology of Pakistan. Okay, so China has ensured that this particular terrorist group, that is PRF, which has involved in this Pahalgam attack, not to be mentioned in the UN resolution, as China has a veto power in the UN, okay, UNSC. It has utilized that particular opportunity in order to make sure that, okay, PRF is not mentioned in the UN resolution on Pahalgam attack. Okay, in this way, so China is not only supporting Pakistan through giving weaponry, but also it is helping through the cyber warfare, it is helping through the electronic warfare, it is helping through the spreading of fake news by giving a psychological support to Pakistan. Okay, it is using the social media to spread disinformation, it is coming up with the information warfare against India, and also it is giving a diplomatic assurance to Pakistan. For example, in FATF also, when Pakistan was placed in the as part of 1267 committee, when Pakistan was placed in the grey list, so when India was actually pushing the other nations to make Pakistan as a part of a grey list or a blacklist, so China was opposing India's stance. So in this way, it is giving diplomatic assurance also to Pakistan. So these kind of ideologies are coming up from the Chinese side. Okay, even Pakistan was nowhere hesitant to get a direct support from Pakistan. Okay, it was very much transparent. Okay, it is being transparent enough and not being hesitant enough to show India that we are getting support from the China. Okay, so these kind of shifts are seen with respect to China and Pakistan relation, which may pose a lot of security challenges to India. Not only that, so initially Bangladesh was not supporting Chinese stance, or it is not supporting the Pakistan stance, because Bangladesh was very much close to India, as we have supported them with respect to liberation from the Western Pakistan. So Bangladesh was not initially recognized by the China. So it was only in 1976 China has recognized Bangladesh as a country. It means that the relation between the China and Bangladesh was not so good during that particular times. So, re-invoking the China-Pakistan plus one strategy, this particular China-Pakistan plus one strategy started during 1960s and 1970s. So, this is a strategy that was adopted by China and Pakistan to pressurize India from the eastern and the northeastern borders. So, basically they want to pressurize through the eastern borders of India and northeastern borders of India. So, by involving the countries like Russia, Afghanistan, giving a strategy of a triangular shape. And now we have seen a shift. So this particular trilateral nexus and plus one strategy of China and Pakistan has included Bangladesh also, which is another threat for India. So what will be the implication of this particular strategy that was adopted by Pakistan or China? Definitely this will pose a two-front, not only a two-front challenge, but it will pose a three-front challenge on India. It will pose a 3-front and 3.5 front challenge also. 0.5 is nothing but the internal security threats which are backed by China, which are backed by the external states. So for example, cyber attacks. It might be a disinformation or an information warfare or a grey zone warfare. So traditional China, that is Pakistan and China are a traditional enemies to India. So they will definitely pose a two-front war. But now Bangladesh is also aligned to their particular strategy. This will actually turn the two-front war challenge into a three-front war challenge. So this particular triangulation would definitely complicate India's military deployment, and also it will strain the diplomatic focus of India. And also they may encircle a crucial choke point of India, that is Siliguri corridor or a chicken neck corridor, what we call it as. Siliguri corridor is something which connects mainland India with the northeastern part of India. Which is a crucial route to connect with the northeastern part. We know northeast is known for its insurgency activities. In order to counter the insurgencies, or in order to maintain peace in the northeast, or in order to develop the northeast part of India, or not to make them feel like they are something different from India, definitely this Siliguri corridor plays a crucial choke point role. So but definitely Bangladesh getting involved into this particular trilateral nexus will definitely pose a threat to this Siliguri corridor, which is also called as a Chinese Chicken's Neck corridor. This is just a 22-kilometer wide road link, which connects India with the mainland, mainland India with the northeastern part of India. So if this particular Siliguri corridor is occupied by Chinese or Pakistan or Bangladesh military, definitely it will pose an internal security challenge threat to India. So next one is interoperability of the militaries. So Pakistan is trying to use Chinese weapons that we have seen in the recent Sindoor counter attack from the Pakistan also. And Bangladesh may participate through the naval participation. So all of this will pose threat to India. There will be a problem of interoperability. The interoperability of the militaries from the three sides will pose certain challenges to India. But what will be the impact on the Indo-Pacific region, and what will be the impact on the regional architecture? Definitely Bay of Bengal becomes the focus point. It will become a new flashpoint. So China already have a naval footprint. For example, in the Pakistan, it has a footprint in Gwadar port, and in the Sri Lanka, through the debt trap diplomacy, China has a footprint in Sri Lanka through Hambantota port. So in this way, China is trying to encircle India. This particular strategy is known as string of pearls strategy. Bangladesh inclusion to this particular trilateral nexus will definitely become an advantage to China to get access of the Bay of Bengal. That will place India in a tight strategic triangle. And next one is, it will weaken the India-led institutions. For example, there are a lot of regional institutions where India and these countries are also part of. For example, BIMSTEC. BIMSTEC is something which is a counter of the other initiatives to counter the Pakistan strategy also. BIMSTEC plays a crucial role. But definitely the India-led initiative and part, okay, as these particular initiatives are also having the members from the China and this trilateral parties, so this will pose a definitely a larger impact on this regional groupings. It will undermine the validity of this particular regional groupings. For example, SAARC, BBIN. BBIN is nothing but India, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh initiative. So these kind of regional groupings will, their particular strategies, their particular groupings, the ideology of these particular groupings may undermine. Next, it will have the economic and geo-economic impacts also. For example, China's investment diplomacy. So, China has invested in something called a CPEC corridor, which is a part of India, okay? In the part of POK, so this particular BRI, Belt and Road Initiative is passing. Okay, this will pose a sovereignty threats to India. It will pose the internal security challenges to India. Okay, so China-Pakistan economic corridor is expanding through the countries like Afghanistan and also through the Bangladesh, which may pose again threat to India. Okay, so Bangladesh and Pakistan are heavily indebted to China. So China is using something called as debt trap diplomacy, which will pose a threat to India. And we have seen the shift in the regional supply chains also. For example, infrastructure, trade, digital connectivity, all of these are being dominated by China. Okay, all of these particular areas in these countries like Bangladesh and Pakistan are actually dominated by the Chinese investments. Definitely this will divert regional economic flows away from India. And India may not get access to the markets of South Asia. All of the markets to South Asia are actually, we are getting access through the help of the Bangladesh, through the Bangladeshi routes. So again, having that strained relations with the Bangladesh will pose a threat to India with respect to South Asian markets also. So definitely India need to come up with a multi-pronged response strategy in order to counter this trilateral nexus. One is a strategic and military posturing is required. Okay, we have to fortify the northeast borders through better infrastructure by coming up with a better troop deployment, especially near the Chicken Neck corridor or the Siliguri corridor, which is a very important choke point for India. And we have to enhance our presence in the maritime field. Okay, maritime security needed to be strengthened. We have to come up with the naval and maritime capabilities in Bay of Bengal and also in the Andaman Sea. We have to conduct some joint drills with the help of Quad. Okay, we have to use our diplomatic ties of Quad, okay, and we have to use our diplomatic ties with Russia in order to pressurize China. And next one is diplomatic realignment is needed. We have to rebuild the trust with Bangladesh. We have to try to solve the problems which are there with respect to Bangladesh. Okay, we have to utilize the platforms like BIMSTEC and IORA and also the platforms like BRICS in order to pressurize Russia and also in order to pressurize China not to support the terrorism. Okay, next one is economic outreach is something which is important. We have to invest in the regional trade corridors like India, Bangladesh, Nepal energy grid. We have to offer a credible alternatives to China's BRI by coming up with something called as G20's PGIA, that is Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment. And also recently we have come up with something called as IMEC. Okay, so through the G20 summit and after that also we are actually coming up with this IMEC strategy in order to counter the something called as China's Belt and Road Initiative. And we have to incentivize the Indian companies to build infrastructure and digital networks in Bangladesh. Okay, with through all of this support to Bangladesh, definitely we can realign Bangladesh to India again. And we need to come up with a narrative and cyber strategy. So we have to counter Chinese disinformation tactics or information warfare tactics and its authoritarian influence on this particular fields. We have to invest in cyber security measures. Okay, for example, there is a model called India Stack model. Okay, we have to strengthen this particular model to come up with the come up as a counter to China's tech imperialism. Okay, and another one is the strategic patience and the flexibility is something which is needed. We should avoid the knee-jerk responses or sudden responses which are focusing only on the short-term solutions. We need to focus on something which actually wins the hearts and minds of the people of Bangladesh. Okay, and we have to align with shifting regimes pragmatically. Okay, we have to utilize the opportunities through the mechanisms like BRICS. Okay, we have to come up with the diplomatic tactics and our software diplomacy in order to gain that particular relation that we had with Bangladesh back. Okay, so through this particular counter strategies, we can these are the multi-pronged strategies which India can use in order to counter this trilateral nexus among these particular countries. Okay, I hope you have understood this topic in detail. So these are kind of questions that can be asked in the future mains. So definitely these kind of ideologies and these kind of awareness is something which you people needed to have, okay, in order to strengthen your IR, okay, international relations knowledge. Okay, if you liked the video, definitely please hit the like button and also please subscribe to our channel. And your likes, your subscribes and your feedbacks through the comment box will definitely act as a source of motivation to us to come up with more such content in the future. Okay, so stay tuned to our channel. We are uploading all the content which are exam focused and okay, that will definitely help you. So let's see in the next class. Let's meet in the next class. Until then, take care. Bye-bye and keep smiling.